Hey dudes, it's Michelle and I'm just going to show you very quickly how you can trim the lace front on your wig. Now, this is not something you have to do, it's not something that most people do, however it's something that I tend to do in a lot of my wigs. Personal preference. Mostly the reason I do it, it's not because of the appearance of the lace front, because I do find that most lace fronts are very natural and undetectable. The reason that I do it is because I have quite bad eczema which can break out at times, and when I do, sometimes I can't even wear a lace front wig if it is welded lace. What I want is as minimal lace as possible there. So what I am going to show you is how to trim it. Now, importantly, what you need is your wig with lace front, and you need a pair of appropriate scissors. These are my John & O Easy Hair pinking lace front pinking shears. Now, don't use normal pinking shears and do not use normal scissors. There is a rationale and a reason for that. Now, I did used to think if you had sharp scissors you could use them and it would be fine. I am telling you right now, I'm advising you not to do that, because depends on the type of lace that you have, but for example, welded lace, you should absolutely only use these type of scissors, and the reason for that is because the lace is welded, so each fibre is welded down like so many times. If you cut with inappropriate scissors, you will damage the lace front on your wig. You will cause the lace to separate, you will cause it to move slightly. It might not separate totally straight away, but over the period of time it will become damaged. You should only be using heavily weighted special scissors that have been designed specifically for your lace front wigs. Now, because these are pinking shears, you do have to be lining it up as you're going sort of thing as well. So what I do when I'm doing this, it's very simple, it's very straightforward. Turn your wig cap inside out. You don't have to turn it inside out. I don't actually always turn it inside out. Sometimes it's easier and I can see what I'm doing better, but it's really not much odds either way. I don't know why I did that. I actually don't ever turn it inside out. What you should really be doing, in theory, you should be pinning back the hair. So, okay, so to do this, what you want to do, I am putting this wig on me just now. You can stick your heads on a mannequin stand or whatever. Basically, the hairs at the front, you want them to be removed and out of the way, because you don't want to be cutting lace that has hair attached. You don't want to be cutting through hairs that you're not wanting to be cutting, because that would just be a wee bit whack. You don't want to be doing that. So I would advise that you get a bobble, a hair elastic, tie those hairs back, make sure that they are well tied back from the hair, and then what to do is take your wig off once they're all tied back, and then the lace is free. So you want to cut in front of the hairs that are there. You don't want to be cutting through them. You want to be cutting in front of them. If I want to change the appearance of the hair distribution in my lace front wig, there are ways that I can customise that. Do not pluck the hairs from the wig. You will damage the lace. It's not good. You can damage the lace and you can cause it to split. There are ways for it to be done, but plucking ain't advisable. I know lots of people on YouTube do pluck lace front wigs. I honestly don't advise it. I don't advise it. I have done it myself in the past and then went to some training and get told don't do it, and when I heard why I thought yep, that makes sense. So what you will notice when you're using these lace front shears is you have lots of wee kind of hills and troughs, peaks and troughs, is that what you call them? So it's like saw-toothed. You just want to be lining that up as you're doing this. Okay, and now that does look scalloped. One thing I would say, if you have chosen to do this, if you've chosen to have your lace front trimmed either by a salon or by yourself, if you have chosen to do that, when it is scalloped, just be very careful. You don't want that lace kind of turning under if you're putting it on a mannequin head or anything. You need to obey the same rules. Don't let your lace get damaged, don't have it turned under and all that jazz. And then when I put this on now, there's a bit less lace there at the front. It does create a very natural appearance, I feel, and for me it's just a bit more comfortable when my skin is problematic. Since I do this to all my wigs, in theory I do this to all my wigs, in reality I can't always be bothered, but realistically if it's a wig I'm wearing often then I do. So on this wig I plan to be wearing this wig an awful lot, so I have done it. Yeah, so there we go. That is how to trim the lace on your wig.